Hey everybody. Hey, hope everybody's doing well. I want to talk for just a few moments here about passion for autograph collecting or passion for sports memorabilia. I talk to customers, every day about this stuff. And, one of the things that I really try to emphasize to people when they're buying a gift for someone or they're buying something for their collection is passion behind what you are buying. And what I mean by that is don't just buy an autograph just to have an autograph. Yeah, we all like to have a Michael Jordan or LeBron James autograph. But you know what? Those may not be the athletes that we follow as a kid or as an adult, or maybe not even be on our favorite team. The most important thing I think about when collecting is how passionate am I about that item, that particular team, or that player. And the kind of the rule of thumb that I like to use when buying an autograph is if I don't jump for joy and like get super stoked and excited within 3 to 5 seconds of looking at that piece, it's probably not something that I want in my collection. And that's what I try to tell customers is when you're looking for a gift for someone, even if you don't understand the sports memorabilia industry or understand sports really at all, you kind of have that feeling when you look at something and saying, wow, that is so cool. What is that about? And like take for example this piece right here. You guys have seen Bobby Orr here. Famous 1970 Stanley Cup game-winning goal, probably one of the most iconic photos of all time. Definitely top five. You see something like that as a Boston Bruins fan, and it's just like, wow, hey, I know who Bobby Orr is. What's the story behind this goal? What's this famous goal about, And you put something like that on your wall or you give it to someone, and not only do they have a story about, oh, I remember where I was when that goal happened, or I remember my dad talking about that goal, it brings up a whole bunch of passion about the Boston Bruins and about Bobby Orr, You could get a hockey puck signed by Bobby Orr. You could get a jersey signed by Bobby Orr. But those pieces may not necessarily bring up the passion about the Boston Bruins and Bobby Orr like that piece does. The look on someone's face when they open up that gift and they see this thing come out here and they're just like, where do I start with? I just have so many memories about this play, and that's what photos do. Autographed baseballs, especially like, World Series balls, somebody gets a World Series ball from, let's say, the Kansas City Royals in 2015 when they won. I mean, people remember where they were, what they were doing, the emotions that they felt while that series was going on. And that's what sports memorabilia is all about, and autographs in general, too, is, we're not really selling, I say we are selling a piece of memorabilia. I mean, you're physically getting something, right? But what you are actually getting is you're getting a piece of that emotion and that passion that you were a part of that particular event that happened, Gosh, I remember, when the 1989 earthquake happened. And I remember exactly where I was in California. I remember what was going on. I remember how I felt. I remember the TV falling over at the house. I remember all these things, And I remember the World Series going on at the time, right? I mean, the Battle of the Bay. That was the coolest thing going on, sports-wise, at least in my childhood. When the A's and the Giants played, I mean, people were just bashing heads. And, I mean, this is before social media, thank God. But people were just going nuts over this thing because these teams were so close. And it was just a passionate series. And then you throw in the earthquake, something that really had never happened before in a major sporting event like that. And, now I see 1989 World Series stuff, and yeah, the Giants didn't win it, but for me, I'm passionate about Will Clark, and so I try to get as much Will Clark stuff in as I can for sale because, A, I remember what was going on in the World Series. I took a part of it. I was a part of it, excuse me. And Will Clark was one of the most iconic Giants during that time, along with Kevin Mitchell and those guys. And, I try to get A stuff in too, so it's just, I sell what I'm passionate about, and I tell people to collect and give gifts that they're passionate about too, or what their gift receiver is going to be passionate about, So yes, it'd be great if you sent, you had the money and you got a Michael Jordan autograph for somebody, and hey, they may be super passionate about that. Don't get me wrong, but it's little pieces like this Bobby Orr here, that are somewhat cost effective. You're looking at around $229 for that, and that's shipped for a framed photo. I think you get much more bang for your buck for something like that than you do, a Michael Jordan basketball upper deck that's going to cost you, I don't even know what those are going for nowadays. I think you probably pick those up for $1,500 or so. I just don't see the same passion behind an autographed basketball as I do a particular photo that you have a relationship with almost, So just a couple of tips for you guys there, always make sure that you're picking up something that you are absolutely passionate about, no regrets, and make sure that, you're super stoked about that thing within 3 to 5 seconds of seeing it. And, assuming the price is right and you got room in your wall and budget and all that stuff, then, pull the trigger on it, But if you're thinking about it for 2 or 3 days and, a week goes by, it's probably not the piece for you, And that's okay to pass up on pieces like that, And so what if you kick yourself later? It's not a big deal, But I like to make sure that when I'm picking stuff up that, boom, yes, that's absolutely what I want. Let's do it. And that's the message that I try to convey to customers is make sure that, you are excited about this piece as much as maybe your gift person is or, other collectors and whatnot. So it's just important to me to make sure that you guys are passionate about this stuff because, it's your money. It's your hard-earned money. And make sure you're spending it well on good quality stuff that you're going to want to have on your walls for a long time. So if you guys got any questions, give me a shout out. Always get new stuff in. Check out the website, powersportsmemorabilia.com. Once again, powersportsmemorabilia.com. I'm Matt. Take care. Thanks again.